water. I'm using Citadel Layers Talam Sand for this gremlin's skin colour. Weird box design of him has him with a more browny colour, but obviously you can mix and match colours you want, because most of mine are green for gremlins and they're all different shades. As you can see, there are parts done of the rest of Crossroads 7 down there. They all need completing though. Let's do the back of the hand. So what I'll do is I'll do parts of each, so it gives other parts time to dry. A bit, corner bit. It's a little bit under his arm, where the snake is. I know the video quality isn't very good, but it's the only camera I've got at the moment. You can kind of see. So he's got his drum down here. Let's see what it looks like with the light. You can kind of see it better there. So I just need to do his feet, and then that'll be his base skin colour done. Oh, we'd have missed a few bits just under there. So let's just do the feet. So I'll try and paint some of these up before I end the stream. I probably won't be on long because this is more of a test stream than anything. Just to see how it comes out. I'm not the greatest painter either. I have a tendency to have a shaky hand, as you can probably, I don't know if you can see it, but so my models are not expert quality. I just like getting them table ready, and if they look alright to me, then that's fine. Some people need theirs like perfect, but that's down to them. Oh. Drop the paintbrush, it doesn't help. I do have quite a lot of paints, but a lot of them are the same kind of colours, so it's kind of hard to choose what paints I want to use, because if it looks almost identical, I don't really want to use it. Like, I've got many browns, but a lot of them are kind of shaded, the same kind of shades. And obviously you don't want too many paints, too much of the model looking the same colour. I think that's part of his trousers there. So that's that side. It goes up to there on him. As you can see down here, we've got a lot of browns, which kind of, that's not too bad, that's not as similar. It's more of a chocolatey brown on top and then lighter brown on the bottom. but you don't really want to use the same colour many times, otherwise it kind of ruins the model. Obviously you shade after, or wash. I'm more of a wash only than shading, but it's down to my preference again, that I'm not as good as other people at their painting qualities. What I tend to do is jab a lot of paint into any recesses to kind of hide where the sprue was not great. I'm not very good at using green stuff after to fill holes. So we just go over, find all the white spots where we missed them. Just a little bit in there. And another bit in there. So now he's like that. We can leave him to dry. So now this guy is an undead. So we kind of want more of a pale greeny kind of skin colour. So if you look through the collection here, we have browns, greens, greys, green stuff, silver, blues. So we've got loads of colours, and like I say, a lot of them are kind of similar. So kind of an undead colour. Maybe this green? We can try it out, see how it looks, and if you don't like it, we can go over it again. Let's get this mix. I haven't used this one in a while, so it's a bit not the greatest colour. We will also change paintbrushes because I've already done a lot of colours on him already, so I don't really want to go over what I've already done. So we take that paintbrush and the smallest one, which is that one, mix and match them. That's a bit better, needs a bit more. Right, so not the bigger one first. So as you can probably see, the brown overlaps, but that doesn't matter too much because when you go over it again with the next colour, as long as it's not too light, it will disappear into the next colour. So I don't know if you can really make it out, but it's just coloured in the hair for some reason, not realising, can't really see it. But if you look at the top, I've kind of got rid of the brown by using the green. That doesn't really show it much, but you kind of get the idea. So when I painted the hair, for some reason, I don't know why, but then I can go over that again with another colour, which again, I don't really want to use another brown because I've used so many browns on these models already. I'm not sure if I like the colours I've used on this one. So it's a gold, silver, We've got a blue there. Then we've got a darker bluey purpley colour. And the book white, yeah, I'm going to design on the top. But then we've got the black for the controls, which also need to be painted in. So as I say, I'm trying to get them all done by doing little bits on each at a time. So now we've got red that's overlapped onto the arm here, so if we do that, and then that, I'm not sure if that's an arm guard or just his skin. It looks like just his skin with spikes sticking out. So for that we can just paint over top with a kind of skull kind of colour, because you don't really want plain white, because it's kind of a boring colour just having white for bone. I mean, you could white and then put some kind of brown wash on top, I guess. But if you get more of a grey white. Also, this is Ogrin camo, this green. So we go up to here, and then that's where his gloves are. So in Malifaux, this is the band for Malifaux. There's one for each faction, which you can run them as themselves, or you can kind of use them per faction as well if you wanted. So for this one, this is a Resurrectionist model. So you could use them in any Resurrectionist crew. Obviously the Gremlin's part of the Bayou now, which used to be the Gremlin faction. But when they changed from 2nd edition to 3rd edition, it changed a lot of the game. So now it's keywords over faction, which for new people it makes the game a lot easier to buy for, because you don't have to buy everything for a faction. You just need whatever your keyword is. I have pretty much collected all of the Bayou because I was a Gremlin player for 2nd edition, so I pretty much bought everything I could for the Gremlin side. We have a little group of us that play Malifaux at the moment. We're trying to get more people involved, but with everything that's going on at the moment, it's kind of hard. Once we don't have the lockdown and we can all go back to normal lives, we can all start playing again. Might be able to do all of this with this brush. The middle isn't too bad. As I say, you can just go over with the colour again, so if you go over the blue, just go over it again. Let's go in between these skulls, well, these spikes, as they're coming out of his skin. See all the bits that we've missed. I don't know if people like watching these type of videos, something different. didn't want to do another unboxing because I don't really play Pokemon anymore. Power Ranger unboxings are kind of, I don't really buy much of that anymore either, so thought I'd try something different. People might not want to watch it, but other people might. I know there's a lot of miniature painters about. Some enjoy different things, so they might be Warhammer players. I used to play a bit of Warhammer, but our group kind of got a bit fed up with Warhammer, and once Games Workshop changed the whole game, I think that kind of killed it off for our group. Now we're just some people play Infinity, most of us are, any of us that do normally play games are more Malifaux, and then D&D and normal board games. Like I have the Power Ranger Heroes of the Grid that I've been painting up. I haven't done much of that lately. Maybe I can do that as a video. Depends what people want to see and if people want to see any of it. And I can get a better camera if people want to watch more videos. But at the moment it's just what I've got, so I'll just deal with it. Some people don't like gluing all the model together as well before they paint it, because trying to get into the gaps and stuff, it's kind of harder if you've already glued the whole lot. But as I say, if you end up going over another part of the model, it's not too bad. You can just then go over it again. Like if I accidentally do the back of the guitar and then I go over the skin colour when I'm doing the guitar, then I can just go back over with this skin colour again, and it will just get rid of the mistake. Like there, I've just accidentally gone over with the blue, so what I'll do is I'll just get the blue colour again, which is just there, and repaint that bit. I'll end up doing a wash over top of the blue anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. So either that, so you could do the way I'm doing it, or you can use contrast paints, which are more water based, and they're more of a paint and wash at the same time paints. So they're for quick, easy paint jobs. I like to use them as a wash over top. Some people don't like using them because of that reason. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's supposed to be a shoulder. I think it's just where the sprue was a bit stuck on and I didn't get cut properly. Because sometimes you can cut the sprue off a little bit too much and then you then end up ruining the arm of the model. Sometimes it's hard to glue the models together as well, which I've had issues with some of the models, because we do release instructions, but for some it takes months and months to even get them, so you kind of have to do them yourself. So this green actually kind of looks quite cool for a undead kind of model, which suits the Resurrectionist faction quite well. That's that. Bit in the arm there. Some bits missing there. So this is what he looks like now. So you can see, so that's the green I used for him, and then for the gremlin I used the more browny skin colour, I guess. And then I will be using normal flesh colours for the next guy. So while we've got the light, we'll just check nothing's been missed. Doesn't look like it. So he will now dry. So now, this is where I use contrast colours. So for human flesh, I'd rather use this contrast over white, because it looks, I think it looks better as a skin tone without a base colour on top. So as you can see when I'm putting it on, it's much thicker, darker in the indents, which brings out the muscle six-pack. Which means you don't have to wash over top as well to bring out the detail, because you're doing the detail at the same time as you're painting it. But it means you'll have a lighter model overall if you're just using contrast over using both lots. I just find it hard to do skin colours any other way. I just think this works out well. So as you can see the difference there. And then over the back, if we did it with a normal kind of pinky colour, I don't think it would work so well. But when you put a wash on, it will do the same for the other colours. So when I put a blue wash on, or a black wash, it will bring out the detail in the trousers and the boots. Need a bit more on this one. Then the last bit for this model, after we've done all the washes and etc., he has some jewellery and some wrist cuffs, so they will be done in a different colour. So that it doesn't matter too much if you go over those, because you'll be then going back through them again after anyway. And it's a case of just going around the model, making sure we haven't missed any bits. which looks like that's about right. So like you can see the difference with and without a wash type. You can't see much detail on this one, but on this one you can clearly see that there's viewable parts of the body. So that's that one nearly complete. Next we have this guy. So this guy has hardly any fleshy bits, but because I have gone over with the red, I find it easier and it looks better if you go back over the bits that you've messed up. If you go over them again in white, when you use the flesh, it looks better because it hasn't got another colour underneath, because that other colour will show through. I've had that happen many times. It just doesn't look very nice. I don't know if that is supposed to be a jacket and then flesh the rest of it, but because I'm not sure, I will do these bits again in the white. That way, if it is flesh, I won't have to redo it. So that's that bit, and there's also a tiny bit of brown on his face. So that's that. With the hair, it doesn't matter too much at the moment because I'm not sure what colour I'm going to go with. So this model also will need some white over the top of some bits. She has a bit of blue from the skirt just come off onto the model's legs. I'm not really a big fan of the human models. I like all the randomness of what the bayou look like, so I haven't got too many humans. Paint brush. So let's get these last bits done, and then we'll have to leave this one to dry. Let's fit in the boots. Just in there, a bit more over the top. It's the same thing I do with fire as well. I use the contrast paints over top, and then I go back over it again after. With red, oranges. Just to tidy up after. So we then need to do, so none's gone on the face, but there's a tiny bit across here. A few bits on the arms. Just making more undercoat makes it, just brings out the colour more. that's that. So like I said, for fire, I do contrast like yellowy orange under there, and then I go back over it with like oranges, reds. I could do white as well, but I haven't. And this is obviously the difference I find with Gremlins is more, they look better. So like already done this one as well. Needs a bit of a touch up, but he's almost done. Then obviously I've done bases as well for some of them. Some still need basing. So we got, get him out. So we've got this guy. For him, I accidentally inverted the fire how it should have been, but I think it turned out quite well in the end. Whereas obviously that's, I think that fire looks better, but for that model it kind of suits it. And my other big model, which I based a few days ago, is the Gremlins Golem. So I've used a roller from Green Stuff World with green stuff underneath to make the effect of wooden planks. And I've stuck some luminous green on top to make it my, because they're poison models, so I've made it the green. And I've dripped some green down and then resined on top to make it kind of shiny, as you can see, just to kind of finish it off. It's a pretty cool model. I like these bigger models. They come out a lot better, but I still also like these little ones as well. Some are better than others, like this guy. So for him, I painted him up with a kind of rusty bronzy colour. Then I went over top of it with a technical paint which gives it more of a corrosion-y look. And then I dry brushed over top with silver and painted in all these cables in silver. And then we have this guy. Again, I used the Citadel flesh, not contrast flesh, for his base colour, and then made him have a rusty spanner. And I also have this Siluriid guy. I think he's pretty cool as well. So I've given him a golden anchor. Little white teeth, yellow eyes. So I think that one's cool as well. So they're the only ones I've got out at the moment. So now what I'm going to do is find a colour that will work with those bones. So more of a, let's see what we got. So we have the sandy colour, which I used for the Gremlin. And we have some greens, banana yellow, another yellow, flesh colour, which you could use for humans, and then going over it with another colour. So I think we have this grey. So I think we should try this grey out for that, and he's got a knee pad as well. So, and then after that, I will put a black wash on top, and that will just dull the colour a bit, so it's not just plain grey. So either that, or I could put a brown wash on top, or use the brown Citadel on top for the contrast, because that would work too. But that might overpower the colour that's already there and then just turn out brown. So Then we need some gloves, so we need a colour for the gloves, a colour for his hair. For a lot of models I've been using black for hair colour. But that kind of gets a bit boring, having the same. I was going to do knee pads, because he's only got one knee pad by the looks of it. So if we do that in this colour as well. It's either that or we could have done it in a gold or silver, but I think it just looks better with grey. Then we'll let that dry and then wash over the top of it. There is a bit of blue missing there as well, but because we're going back over the blue anyway, that won't be a big issue. So now we need a colour for the gloves, which, I mean, I could do a bright colour, I could do blue, green, another brown maybe, but I don't really. Got orange, thunder and blue, that might work. Let's try that one. See how this one turns out. Give it a good shake so you don't get all the bits. So let's see how this one looks. It's not actually too bad really. Like again with the guitar, I'll be painting the guitar separately so it doesn't need to be neat on that side of things, but for the up to the hands, the neater you are the better, because then you don't have to go through doing that colour again. But when you're shaky like me, it's kind of harder. If you go over it a little bit, it doesn't matter too much. You won't really notice it that much unless you're looking like right up to your face. And a bit more there. It's a bit under the hands, right under the guitar. I think that blue kind of, it's quite nice. It's like a bluey green. And that. And there. Once you start putting colour on, these models look so much nicer. Because you can see from boring white to nicely coloured. So now we've got to pick a hair colour. Do that back up. So for the hair I will use a smaller brush. So we will now pick something for the hair. We don't want a blue, we don't want a flesh colour. We'll give him orange hair. As I say, we've got browns, we've got silvers, no, yellow. There's another grey. We could try hair, but I don't think that will be too great. If it comes down to black, I would use black, but I'd rather not. Well, I haven't got too many. Need to get some more colours. We could try this Skaven light stuff, but I don't think. I think we will just go with the black, and then we'll highlight it after with a lighter colour. And obviously you want a smaller brush for this because you don't really want to go over too much. I can see from here that I've missed some of the green on his face. So we'll need to go over that after. But sometimes, if it wasn't so much different, once you put a wash on, you wouldn't notice the bit you've missed. Missed a little bit there. I think the black actually works with this model because of all the bright colours. You've got a bright blue, got a bright red. The browns are kind of bright as well. It's looking quite nice. Bit I hate about models is eyes. Because when you try and paint them, more often than not, they come out all over the place. So you'd have one eye looking one way and then another eye looking another way. So already it's looking much better. So we do have a band around the top of the, well, the bottom of the hat, so I might just do that black as well, just to kind of mix up the colours. It's definitely not quick to paint models, but it's a lovely fun hobby. When you have stuff where you're stuck in, you can't go to work, you can't do much, it's nice to have something that you can do. And when you're a miniature gamer, you know how long it takes to do models. So it's kind of a good thing for that. It gives you time. It does take quite a while to paint up a group of miniatures. So you just need to go over the green. And then he needs a guitar coloured, which I might give him a bright silvery guitar. No, we don't want that, we want green. Otherwise we'll end up with the skin colour I've given to the gremlin, and that wouldn't really work with this guy. It can't be two-toned colour. So we just need to do the guitar now, which I might do in the silver. Gold's a bit too much, I think, because that's the gold I'll be using, but I think the silver would work better on this. We also don't want that brush because it's going to take a long time to do with that one. You'll have this one, that one. So we just need to find the silver, which is lead belcher. At some point I'll have a better setup as well once I've ordered a shelving thing, so I'm going to put my paints behind the desk. So if we paint the whole guitar silver, then we can details over the top. Already you can see a big difference. And go over to this side. There's a few bits that need touching up there as well. And under here. And drop the paint on myself. I got over that a little bit. It's not going to show up too much. Let's go over that bit because it's a more delicate bit. The bit's a bit delicate as well. The rest of that's not too bad. So I need to do the inside. Like bit. Nope. So this bit. So that's that. We just need the blue and a bit of green. So do the blue first. Then we'll do, I might not do any more today on the video, but the next thing will be a wash on the boots. Yeah, wash on the boots, then the laces, and then this guy will be pretty much done. So there's bits missing there. And the green. So we need... what colour do I use for that? I need that blue again, which I believe was this one. Then we need to go over the bits that were missed. I think that's a few bits there. You normally notice more bits when it's dry. Like I can see that the silver, the grey on the knee pad isn't all the way around. So that's that. And then we just need a bit of the green flesh. For the odd bits I noticed, which was a bit missing here. And a bit missing here. And then the chest. So I think he is done for now, because he needs to dry, and then we need to do the wash and then fix up laces, bits on the knee pad can be gold, maybe little spots, and then the guitar needs all the strings and things painted, and by then we can go back through and check any bits that have been missed. But from pretty much starting out that colour, now he looks, I think he looks pretty cool. So thanks, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll hope to have another live stream again soon. So thanks for watching, and see you later.